Welcome back everyone to Crusader Kings 2, a Game of Thrones, as King Benjen the Amazing, and our son Lewin has just, finished his education. He became a elusive shadow. Amazing. That is even better than what we are. Very good. But we still have a little bit more intrigue than he does. Anyway, so there we go. Very nice. I have betrothed him to Gale Valerion. Hopefully we're going to get some of the Valerian features, high Valerian features. That would be cool. We'll have to see if that's possible. As you can see, the Reach has joined us, but they're just fighting another war. Fighting Old Town for some reason. And he's got this Night's Watch on his side. Also, we are defending Hoarfrost in his war. He won the war against the Ghoul Town, and Ghoul Town's now directly held by Hoarfrost, but the King of Ghoul Town still rules beyond the wall. So there you go. Married to a Colmere. So yeah, she's still queen. Very good for you. And in the meantime, Simeon obviously is here, our vassal. Now we have a big problem right now. There is a huge epidemic. It actually doesn't look as bad anymore, but at some point all of the crown lands are basically up on here. All of this was under the Grey Plague, and the pox was like in all of the Vale, all of the Riverlands in the Claw, and even made their way here. So really, really big epidemics. But as soon as they leave King's Landing, I mean, the Grey Plague has already left King's Landing, so once the pox is left, we can open our gates again, yeah, that will be much better. We are about to finish this war here with the Vale. Hopefully that means the Vale will join us as well. That would be great. That would be ideal, actually. And then we're basically just waiting for Carhold. There's currently a peasant rebellion that has risen up in White Harbor, so we'll have to cut them down, and then yeah, I mean, I don't know. You have 500 men, and you're fighting the Weeping Bay. He has 800 men, and he's not doing anything, though. So I wonder, can I join you? Can I form an alliance with you? You don't want to. Well, that sucks. Also, of course, it's time. Right now, we have winter. So, yeah, there's many things going on at the moment. Winter, various diseases, and so on and so forth. Just after these huge wars are over. Yeah, you shall be ransomed, that's fine. I have no problem with you. So, hopefully, after all of this is done, we're finally going to have some actual peacetime with a united realm. That would be ideal. That's really what I want. Okay, we're 100% with both of those guys, so let's peace them out. And, yeah, you'll be banished to the Night's Watch, and we'll stand down these 13,000 men. And this should be over as well. The marriage has been accepted, and the Vale has won their war as well, so hopefully that means they're going to join us. We shall see. Now my daughter-in-law can become patient. Sure, I think that's fine. Make her patient, and you can stand down. I have another 3,000 men raised. What about the epidemics? There's still the pox. Okay, we'll not open the gates just now. And yeah, our wife, Donella Tyrell was pregnant. And we have a daughter, an ugly daughter. Well, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna go with Lyra, then. Fine. Yeah, just call it Lyra. Yeah, alright. And we'll move on. Wow. But wow, that was... I mean, what's going on with the Vale? Are you gonna join in? Corin of the Reach. Oh, Imri died. Imri the Black, he died of poor health. Oh no. So we've got Corin now. But he should still like us. He did manage to revoke Black Crown. Alright, he also has the Arbor that he won from the, well, from the Reach. And what about Southstone? How are you independent? Makes no sense. Alright, well, let's just move on. See what happens there. How are you independent? Like, it makes no sense. God damn it. And the Vale won't join as well. I mean, I think the problem is, we're pissing off so many people by not picking the right King's Guard. A Windworm. Alright, we'll pick the Stormlander. No, he won't accept. I think, who accepted? This lowborn person, right? How many? We've got 6 people on the King's Guard. The last one to join was actually Robert Gale. He joined in. Yeah. And then we've got Balin Tarth still. Eric Hayford. Alright, well. Anyway, apparently, one afternoon, my wife comes over to you and begs a private word. She asks that you allow her to take one of her serving girls as handmaiden. Sure. Why not? Yeah. So, there you go. You have a handmaiden. Enjoy. In fact, I think we might have 2 handmaidens right now. Ronald Vance is the new Knight's, Lord Commander of Night's Watch. Now, if you remember, he was the one that killed Harlon. He died in personal combat against Ronald when he attacked the Night's Watch. Now, also the War in the North is going... I don't know how's it going. Apparently, Wendell died in actual death, so now it's R+L II leading the Dreadfort, and he's winning... No, he's losing, even though he has Last Hearth on his side. Well, the Dreadfort... The Dreadfort hasn't been besieged, but Winterfell... Oh, the Godswood has been besieged, I see. Anyway, let's stand down our men. And, yeah, Gren is doing okay. No, he's actually losing against Lord Lucifer. He's got 6,000 men. We'll have to see. Hopefully he's going to be able to hold on there. And I've now been friends with Miguel. Spending lots of time. Oh, very good. Awesome. But, you know, it doesn't really do anything. I mean, I guess I can seduce her. Sure, why not? But I think we've already had a northerner. So yeah, it's not really most important. Also, I'm still looking for King's Guards. Okay, Willem, come on, Leighton, Willem. Oh, anyone, please. Just accept. There's more more wars going on. Alright. Unwin Dantower, I'll just take anyone. At this point, nobody likes us. Alright, so our levy's obviously regrowing much slower now that we have mild winter. So we'll see. I'm not sure what's going on here with Southstone and the Vale, because once again, not joining in. I had to use console commands for the Reach, by the way, because their council was against it. That was why they couldn't swear fealty, because their council was against it, and that might be because we are of the wrong religion. But anyways, I'll see what happens. I just kind of want to wait. I'm pretty much done. All I want to do is really retake the Stormlands. But for that, we need a few more men, I would say. So unfortunately, guys, I've got some bad news for you. The series has come to an end, to a sudden end. If I go forward one more day, the game will crash. I've tried various times to get around this somehow, but it seems as if the save is simply corrupted. I tried with the 1.5 version, with the 1.4.1 version, neither would work, and yeah, so I have to end it here. There's not really much I can do, which is really sad, because this is not exactly the ending I had hoped for. I wanted to at least take over the Stormlands. I know I said just a few seconds ago that it was basically done, but I really would have loved to subdue House Targaryen here of the Stormlands. But I guess we're just going to have to leave it with an open end like this. So, with that, I guess I will go over the series, a few highlights that we've had, and I will wrap it up. And I guess afterwards we're going to start something new. But before we talk about this, let's talk about what has actually happened. Now, obviously, the series was started off by me playing as John the Eagle. We did not rule anything. I think before being elected, were we Lord Commander? Were we Lord Commander? Okay, you know what? That's something I'm actually unsure about. We were Lord Commander. Okay, there we go. So we were Lord Commander. We've just been freshly elected as Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and then we accepted Stannis' offer to bend the knee to him and become his Lord of Winterfell in name, at least, because Stannis actually lost his war, and we never got Winterfell through him. And what happened was the White Walkers, they destroyed the wildlings. The White Walkers scaled the wall and broke the Night's Watch, and then they destroyed various northern houses. They attacked the mountain clans. They took over, I think, Last Hearth. They took Carhold and various other provinces, and they were really threatening the north. And only then there was a wonder that happened. House Bolton was killed. Roose and Ramsay both slain in cold blood by the White Walkers. In fact, it was actually Brendan Stark. Yes, our half-brother that led the armies, and he made sure to take care of the Boltons so that I, as John, would inherit the North and become Lord of Winterfell. That saved the campaign, because it could have ended right there, really. So Brandon Stark Jen revealed himself to us. He joined our forces, and together we were able to beat back the White Walkers, restore the Night's Watch to the wall, and technically I would have, also loved for the Wildlings to join our realm, but that wasn't really possible because we were not king at the time. We were simply Lord of Winterfell, and not much else. I think at the time when we became Lord of Winterfell, it was the Tyrells under Willas Tyrell ruling the Seven Kingdoms. But anyways, so that happened, so we retook Carhold. Unfortunately, the Karstarks were one of the families wiped off, so we had to replace them, and Carhold became once again a domain of House Stark. Also, the Boltons were replaced, and our first custom family, made an appearance, I guess. Lord R+L J. He was a descendant. Well, actually, this is the first R+L J. He was a skin changer descendant of a few wildlings who were also slain by the White Walkers, and he became the new Lord of the Dreadfort, which is quite fitting. The name Red Wolf, it's kind of cool actually. So, yeah, that was the first film. We'll talk about him a little bit later, and later at some point, Howland Reed, obviously, he revealed our true parentage, the true parentage of Jon Snow. So we knew that Rhaegar was our father, and so we had a claim on the Seven Kingdoms. And then, with the help of Melisandre, we managed to get support of various houses. Sansa Stark ruled with Harold Arryn and the Vale, so we had their support, and we also had the support of Garland Tyrell of the Reach, and I think we also had the support of Ariana Martell. So we had the Tyrells, Dorne, the Vale, and all of the Northern Lords to help us overthrow Willas Tyrell and take the Seven Kingdoms, and so we did. And we took it over. And then I installed Brandon Stark as the rightful Lord Paramount in the North, but I decided to give him the royal privilege, and so House Stark became kings once again. But they later rebelled, and so they are now no longer kings. They've lost that privilege, and they've also lost the Crown of Winter, which is now back in our possession. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I also made House Targaryen kings. I gave them royal privilege, and Aegon of Essos, or as some might say, he worked well together with Jon, but his family, his descendants, not really. They rebelled various times. They grew incredibly powerful by inheriting Yunkai Astapor, conquering Pentos. So they were just strong. They were mostly dragon riders, and they're now independent, and they still have the crown that I gave to them, but that I desperately wanted to get back. Aegon IV crown, currently upon the head of Maego II, the young dragon. Someone I really would have loved to defeat. But yeah, so they're the Targaryens independent. Basically, the Seven Kingdoms are currently controlled by three big families. The Starks, who control the north with the Lady Paramount Lara, and as well as, they also control Carhold with Lord Harwood the Spider, who, by the way, is converted to the 5-7, interestingly. They also control the west with Lord Paramount Harryon ruling over Castle Rock, and that's all he has. So they're Wardens of the West and the North. Then House Stark-Targaryen, obviously ruling the Seven Kingdoms with Benjen the Amazing. We also have Pip ruling Dragonstone, and Gren ruling Dorne. So also, basically, I think Gren is Warden of the South, and we have Pip as Warden of the East. So basically, the realm is split between the Starks with Wardens of the North and West, and the Stark-Targaryens with East and South. And then we've got the Targaryens, who are obviously independent, controlling Pentos and the Stormlands. And a few other great houses. We've got the Greyjoys controlling the Iron Islands, the Tyrells, converted to the Old Gods now, controlling the Reach. And in the Vale, we currently have the Old God worshippers of House Goodman. None of them are known as 20, unfortunately. That would have been really funny. I never really realized until you guys pointed out in the comment section that this was House Goodman. But yeah, that's kind of amazing, actually. So they rule the Vale, and in the Riverlands, we have House Leicester currently as Lord Paramounts, but I'm not sure how long that's gonna last, because House Tully still rules over Riverrun and Harrenhal, arguably the two biggest castles within the Riverlands, so it's likely going to get that back at some point. Currently, they have Illidan as heir, but I think the Lord and his wife isn't very young. So I don't know. I don't know about that. If he doesn't get a new wife, it could be that the Tullys lose their lands. There are not too many Tullys left, to be honest. And the last one, Balara, is actually married to the Lord of the Crossing. So, yeah, I don't know about that. But, you know, at least for a long time, the Tullys ruled over their lands here as well. My plan for winning the war here was to then give the lands to House Bolling of Stormstrom, because House Bolling is actually a cadet branch, very old cadet branch of House Durrandon, the Storm Kings. So since House Baratheon has died out, I would have given it to them at the end of the war, but yeah, sadly it won't come to that. Any other important houses I should mention? We already talked swiftly about House Redwolf ruling the Dreadfort. They have increased their domain, taken over Overton as well. They have House Little as their vassals. They've never managed to take over High Point from the Farmends. That is, they're basically sworn to the Westerlands, which basically is now both in Stark hands, so it's actually not that bad. House Redwolf also revolted against House Stark of Winterfell, and I think they've come to a white peace somehow. Lord Theoden Redwolf actually has, or he's the son of the last Baratheon as well, and he's now married to He's married to a Manderly. Okay, so yeah, the House Redwolf did really well for themselves. They managed to stay around and even increase their power a little bit, so very proud of them. Another house that did quite well was House Colmere. They were granted the Lordship of Woodmere and later renamed that to Colmere, and they have now, actually become the High Lords of the Kingswood, and they've also somehow managed to gain control over Maidstone in the Riverlands. So they certainly grew more powerful as well. They started off with Derek Colmere. He was our advisor. He was a lunatic for a while, then he became possessed and eventually died of cancer, as so many characters before. However, I think they're currently having a little bit of a succession crisis, because Elaine Colmere, the current heir, is married to Sir Gawain Grafton, who swiftly ruled as King of Ghoultown and King Beyond the Wall. At least he was the King of Ghoultown Beyond the Wall after he lost Ghoultown, which was kind of funny. So yeah, and then lastly, we've got House Grifton. They were under Lord Jaqen the One-Eyed. They actually ruled the Vale as Lords Paramount, and even for a short time as Kings of the Vale. The Griffin King has returned, but they were swiftly beaten, and then I usurped some lands from them. They still controlled the Giants' lands and the Bloody Gate, but they were not able to hold on to it because Sir Benedar the Unworthy, he was slain by a Corbury, and eventually I think House Corbury actually rules the Bloody Gate now. Yeah, so they've lost these lands to House Corbury, and currently the there's a few more. There's 3 more Griftons. There's 2 women, Melassa Grifton and Sibel Grifton. I think she's married matrilinear, so yeah, she can pop out a few more babies, but they're currently unlanded. House Grifton has lost everything that they have been given. But yeah, that is the state of the realm. As I said, House Stark-Targaryen, probably the strongest. Yeah, arguably the strongest, although we don't have any dragons. All the dragons are with House Targaryen. If we have a quick look here, we see that all the dragon riders are Targaryens. Storm King Maegor is riding Jadewing, and his wife is riding Jahio. Then we've got Volgaris being ridden by my cousin Visera, and then Rhinax by Rhaeka Targaryen. So there you go, many Targaryen dragon riders. And he's interesting. And then, yeah, there's wild dragons located in Meereen, Drogon, and Rhaegal. I think it was Viserion who was actually killed by Rhaegal, and we once tried to tame Rhaegal when he was wounded, but that was not successful. Then we also have the child of Drogon, Syrax, also a strong dragon, even stronger than Rhaegal now. So Syrax, the second strongest dragon, obviously the strongest dragon, and then there's a few more, Black Claw, Nightpyre, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but most of these dragons actually have been hatched by Targaryens. Yeah, as for Valyrian steel swords, I think we've got the usual things. Longclaw, wielded by us, King Benjen the Amazing. Ice has been returned to the Lords of House Stark. And then, yeah, the regular swords, nothing new there. Only that, well, House Goodbrother is now owning a suit of Valyrian steel armor instead of House Greyjoy, which I think is kind of interesting. Yeah, of course, I didn't really speak much about my father, King Eddard the Downcast. Well, what he did was, well, he ruled as Lord of the West for a long time and brought peace to that area. He restored the Sept of Baelor back to the High Septon and reconciled House Stark-Targaryen with the Faith of the Seven. And then he made sure to reinstall, he installed an Old Gods worshipper as Lannister Old Gods worshipper as Lord of the West. But they later got deposed by the Starks, and he also installed me, Benjen, as Lord of the Reach, and I later made sure to install Imri Tyrell as Lord of the Reach, and he actually helped us out in quite a few wars, but his control over the Reach was tenuous at best, and I'm not sure if Corran is really that much better. But House Tyrell managed to, stay in control as one of the few great houses. In fact, House Tyrell, Greyjoy, and Stark are the only houses that stayed in control of their holdings. So that's kind of interesting, actually. But yeah, that happened. Yeah, that was my father. He, as I said, he didn't really rule as king that long. He was quite wounded. So yeah, too bad for him. But he managed to have a lot of kids. So there you go. And then yeah, I took over. We now rule Summerhall and King's Landing. We rebuilt Summerhall, very nice. Dragonstone has been given out to our uncle Pip. So, yeah, we have got our ancestral castles all under control. I think for now I would like to check out our council. We have my brother-in-law, Lord Corran as Hand of the King. We've got Lord of Bramsford as Master of Laws. Alan as our Master at Arms. He is just exceptional. Dickon, I don't really know him. Lord of Master of Coin. My son Lewin, a bastard son that we've had with Cassandra Martell, the Unfaithful, while she was in our prison. He is married to a Valerion. She's pregnant, very good, and he's our Master of Whisperers. And then, who else have we got? We've got our Maester and my wife as Priestess. Very good. Now, she is of the House Tyrell. Very good. Alright, well, as for minor titles, we've got various commanders, obviously, then the wardens that I've already mentioned, and then, yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter all that much, to be honest. Our designated region is actually our uncle, and Sir Garrison Hamwell is our captain of the guards. As for the King's Guard, now let me show the white book. We've got our current Lord Commander, Eric. Now, Eric Hayford. House Hayford was actually, I think they had Hand of the Kings, various Hands of the King, as well at some point. So they were quite supportive. Now, one thing I should mention is that the Warhammer of Robert Baratheon actually got lost somehow. I gave it to my Lord Commander of the King's Guard, Chael Glover, at some point after House Baratheon died off. And when he died, I didn't get it. I didn't get Robert's Warhammer. Neither does the Lord of the King's Guard have it, and House Glover doesn't have it either. So that is just disappeared somehow, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, on our King's Guard, we also got Sir Eric, Westerosi Valyrian, the Stormlander Baelon Tarth. We've got Clayson Page, our arguably strongest, member of the King's Guard. We've got a few Northerners as well. Robert Gale, only 18 years old. Porter Greenwood, another Northman. And then Ransford Cordwainer of the Reach. That is our King's Guard. Other than that, anything else I should have mentioned? Don't really think so. What did we do? Well, we tried to convert a lot of the Seven Kingdoms. We were not really successful, but obviously having the Starks rule the Westerlands and the Tyrells converted to the Old Gods helps quite a bit. I think Gren is a follower of the Old Gods as well. Yep, so is Pip, right? Yeah, he is. He did manage to convert anything though, so Stockworth, Lannisport, and Highgarden have converted, but that's basically it. Yeah, the Riverlords, Faith the Seven, and Hoarfrost of the Vale is also Old Gods. Interesting. So it's basically just the Riverlands with a Faith the Seven Lord Paramount, and the Iron Islands with their Drowned God religion still. Everything else at least has a Old God Lord. And of course the Stormlands are ruled independently at the moment. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. That is the campaign there. We were trying to make the 8 just like our father did. I think we got a little bit further. In between episodes, well, I guess within this episode, I managed to lay with another girl from the Stormlands, and that actually made me lose the stressed trait. So it's possible that we would have lived for much longer, but unfortunately, you know, the game won't let me. Still, you know, I think it was quite fun. I don't think I've forgotten anything. If I did, well, then please be sure to mention in the comment section. I have already given a save to people. People wanted to have the save of episode, I think, 24. I mean, I could also give you this save, but if it's already corrupted for me, I don't think you're going to have much fun with it either. So, you know, let me know, obviously, if you want to have it. If not, that's fine. Yeah, on that note, though, I guess we'll also have a quick look at the other lands. Yunkai Astapor, I made independent. I must honestly admit that I regret the decision. I'm not sure what you guys said about this. I think you were not too happy for the most part, but I regret the decision. I know, you know, we're a slothful king, and I had these titles personally, but I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have given it up. I don't know. But whatever. I did. So, you know, they're independent now, but they have followers of the Seven as rulers. So maybe that's just gonna stay there. I don't know. Marine is independent, but they're not doing too well. The Dothraki have just fallen apart. And, yeah, the rest is not really all too interesting at the moment. Alright, with that, I guess we can have a quick look at the current epidemics. Nothing too scary. There is the Red Death in the Basilisk Isles. That has been there for a while, in fact. But, let me see. The Red Death has started some 80 years ago. Holy shit. But nothing ever really came of it, so it's just terrible for the pirates there. But it has never touched us, so I don't care. Anyways, I think that will be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was probably my most popular series to this point. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that so many people continue to watch it. And yeah, I hope that the next series, whatever it might be, will be just as good. Leave your suggestions in the comment section if you have anything that you want to see. And, you know, we'll see. But probably I have something lined up already anyways. Regardless, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.